Good evening, everybody. Welcome to PatFacts. Patrick here, Pattern Your Back, Personal Fitness. Hope everyone's having a great week. Sorry for the delay. Had some tech issues, and I'm, as you can see, in a little different location this week. So trying to get a few things situated, and had some tech issues and some location issues, so logistic issues. So hopefully we're good to go now. So as always, if you're here with us live or on the recording, please leave a message in the chats and the comments. Let us know where you're tuning in from, maybe what you've taken from this episode. If you were with us the week before, maybe again, go through and let us know what you took from that episode and how you've maybe implemented some of those things. So last week we talked about theme words in our kind of ongoing series of planning for 2024, setting 2024 goals now rather than New Year's resolutions on January 1st. We're trying to get ahead of the game, increase our success rate, and make sure that we make the most of 2024 that's upcoming. Hey, Bonnie, welcome in. Good to see you. So theme words we talked about last week. We talked about goal setting a couple of weeks ago. So tonight we're going to carry that on, and we're going to talk about contingency plans. So we've got our goal. We're working on our goal. We have our theme word that hopefully ties into our goal and will help us remember our why and how we want to feel. And B, as we talked about last week. And then, hey, Andrea, welcome in. Good to see you. Nice for you to pop in. Things are going to come up. Life's going to throw something at us. Life's going to give us lemons. It's probably just a matter of time. So we want to have as many contingency plans in place as we can to try to work through that and be prepared for it, and hopefully minimize the impact that has on us. And at the same time, maybe help us hopefully avoid some of these issues that are ongoing for us. The more we can, again, plan ahead, we may not even, it's been a while, Andrea, good to see you. We've missed you as well. The more we can plan for it, again, it may not even be what we plan for as far as our contingency plan goes, but having some of those plans in place, maybe we can, again, take out sort of the focus of maybe your contingency plan or the obstacle you kind of foresaw and thought would come up, and just interject what actually happened to you. And again, it may not be 100% transferable, but at least it'll give you a bit of a framework and a start rather than starting from scratch. Awesome, Bonnie. Bonnie says determined is her word for 2024. I love that. That's an awesome one. Mine is the next level. I decided for those that missed it last week, the next level is what I'm looking to take things as far as my business and growth and the impact I can have on you guys, and trying to expand this platform and program to reach more people, to help even more people be operationally fit. So determined. I love that, Bonnie. That's a great one. I've had focus last year, action the year before. Again, trying to look at your goals. And as we talked about last week, trying to think of how you want to feel and be when you've accomplished your goal. And then that should kind of help you create or determine a theme word or words or phrase that help remind you of that. And again, if you go back last week, we talked about some tips of how to keep yourself on reminder and different ways to help you stay focused on what your goal is. So contingency plan is also known as a plan B. So a plan devised for an outcome other than in the usual plan. So we're going to set our goals. We're going to have our theme words. We're going to make our plans that relate to our goal. But then it's good to have a plan B, maybe even a plan C. Because again, life's going to throw something at you. And we'll have to work around it, work through it, find some way to deal with it while trying to stay on track with our goals and continue to make that progress, and hopefully not be completely derailed off the track of our goals, so reaching our goal, which can happen to a lot of people. Again, the January 1sters set those resolutions, and if something comes up in February, a lot of them, again, that's the reason why there's so many who don't succeed with a New Year's resolution, because they don't have these plan Bs and Cs in place. So when something comes up unexpectedly, for most people, it derails them. Usually ourselves, unfortunately, are the first thing to be put on the back burner when something comes up. So again, not having these plans in place, these alternate plans, makes that a bit of a higher rate of us just saying, okay, I can't focus on this right now. I've got to focus on this. And again, usually we're the first things to be put to the back burner. So we want to have plans in place to hopefully avoid that. And we'll give you a couple of tips tonight of ways to look through it and plan these and kind of create them so that, again, you have them at your disposal for the rest of the year. And again, hopefully keeping you on the right track and prepared for what life may hand you. Because again, it will give you something. So the first kind of strategy or point I'd like you to do, and again, a lot of you set time aside to work on your personal development or your planning, sometimes right after the show or a certain day of the week. So what I'd like you to think of this time, as you're getting ready to develop your contingency plan, and even if you don't have your goal just yet, you can probably do at least some framework on this and getting ready for it. And then again, when the goal is clear, you can really fine tune it and finalize it and put the kind of finishing touches on it. So if you don't quite have a goal yet, or if you're just joining us and are kind of catching up and going through some of the past videos, that's fine. Again, we can go through the framework. Again, these get posted on my platform, so you can go back and rewatch them if you need to really, again, fine tune and finalize things as you're ready. But what I'd like you to start with is go back over the previous year and revisit both what worked for you when things came up, when life, again, got in the way. I say operationally fit is fit to fight the daily battles life hands you. Life's going to hand you something at some point. How did you handle it this past year? How did you respond to it? Did it deter you from your goals? Did it distract you? Did it slow you down? Did it derail you completely? Hopefully not. Look at what life handed you and how did you work through that? What worked for you? What were your successes? I want to focus just on those successes first. But then I also want you to look at when life handed you something, where did you maybe have some struggles, some difficulties? Not failures, but lessons learned, knowing what didn't quite work for you, or maybe what did throw you off of your goal, or maybe derail you for a little bit, or maybe for a long time. What we want to do is take those lessons and apply them to this year to, again, create contingency plans to know that, okay, when X happened to me, I put in this plan and it worked. It didn't bother me as much. It didn't slow me down nearly as much. We'll maybe have some times where we get slowed down or a little off track, but we want to be able to course correct as soon as we can. So again, look at those successes where we had something come our way, but be able to handle it pretty well and have minimal effect and impact on our progress towards our goal. And then we can write those, we can kind of recreate those. Hopefully you've been tracking them and again, as you track this year and you've written them down, maybe recorded them, but if not, just think back to the year, maybe even just a few months ago, different things that have come up and look at those successes and then just transfer them to paper, write them down or on your app, whatever you're using to plan your goal, wherever you keep your notes and your thoughts, transfer those there so they're somewhere so that you can refer back to them. Again, especially if you haven't really finalized your goal just yet. Once you do, you want to refer back to these to, again, tweak them to that goal. And then I want you, again, to do the opposite. Look at when life handed you something, what didn't work? Where were the difficulties? Where were the struggles? What was something that maybe derailed you for a short period of time, or again, maybe a long period of time that you just haven't been able to bounce back from? Again, we want to look at those things. Is it something that happens every couple months? Is it something that happens annually to you? Is this something that you just have to go through? Is it just the way things are and you kind of have to deal with it? Or was it something totally unexpected? And again, take all that information, put it together, set it aside, and then again, you can sort of create plans for that, knowing, oh, this didn't work for me. So let's maybe look at what did work and could I apply some of those strategies and plans and those lessons learned to some of the areas that I had trouble with. And then maybe that course corrects for us, or maybe you can take a couple of those successful strategies and morph them into one that would be more applicable to some of these unsuccessful moments that you had. It's all about, again, there's no really right or wrong answer because we're all different in how we handle things and respond to things. It's about finding what works best for you. And again, maybe here within this community, you chat with someone and get their ideas, or maybe seeing someone comment here in the posts, in the chats. Maybe that gives you an idea or sparks an idea, or, oh, I never thought of it that way. If I do that, that probably would help my success rate. And then you can start to mold it and shape it to you. Because again, we're all a little different, but we can take ideas from each other and really blend them into our own. So look at what worked for you, look at what didn't work for you. And again, just really write those out. put them somewhere so you can refer to them when you get ready to, again, really sit down and finalize things for 2024. And then what I'd like you to think of after that is looking at what could possibly come up. What could life possibly hand you? We talked a few months ago, now a couple months ago, about planning ahead for the rest of the year, knowing that there's holidays and travel and parties and events and different things going on that we had to plan for, and maybe modify our goal a little bit. Or not our goal per se, but maybe our approach and our schedule and our plan to make sure that we stay on track while handling all these different things that we have to handle between October and December 31st, basically. Same thing now. Let's look ahead to 2024, or maybe even back to 23. What are some things that came up that will probably come up at that time again next year? Typically, there's busy times and lighter times at our jobs. Maybe things are super hectic for a few months in the spring. Maybe they lighten up in the summer. Maybe they get heavy in the fall and then lighten up in Christmas. Or again, there could be any type of pattern or routine of that. But again, try to look through it and look ahead and try to incorporate that into your contingency plan to know, okay, in April, we're super busy. So it's going to be really hard for me to stay on track. So what can I do around that time to make sure that I'm staying on track? How can I adjust my schedule in regards to my goal to keep me on track? Can I adjust something at work to make it not so heavy? Maybe, maybe not. But if not, I can control myself and my things on my end where I maybe need to play with that schedule and juggle things around. But the more we can be prepared and look ahead for that, then again, we can plan for it, we can prepare for it. And then if there's those unexpected moments that pop up, we don't have to maybe struggle as much because all the expected things are taken care of. Or the preparation for the expected things gives us that framework to say, okay, this thing I didn't expect, but this plan I had over here for something expected, I can move to this and take care of this and knock it out of the way right away and get back on track. Or it'll minimize me being slowed down. It's all about looking ahead and trying to, again, kind of pre-plan and be proactive versus reactive. And it's tricky because there's so much instantaneous moments going on. There's that instant gratification. There's pings and notifications and stuff coming at us from all directions. So it's sometimes difficult, and something I struggle with, admittedly, is being proactive and planning ahead. But something I'm working on and trying to get a little better at. So again, I don't have maybe as stressful a time when something unexpected comes up. It's still stressful. It's still frustrating, but maybe my level doesn't get quite so high because I've put some pre-planning in place, or I have some other things that I know are taken care of. So that if those become bumps in the road, it's okay. I got systems for those. I got a plan for that already. I can focus some little more attention to this unexpected thing to help me get through and to again to help me continue to progress down the road toward my goal. As I said earlier, if things get tough and hectic and busy, the first thing to go is typically ourselves. We go to the back burner so we can focus on this project or this moment or this friend or this issue that came up. And in reality, we should make ourselves even more of a focus to be able to have better energy, a clearer mind, better focus, better kind of emotional control to handle that, as opposed to kind of, again, pushing ourselves to the back burner. So the more we can look ahead to this, we can, again, hopefully minimize some of that and just keep ourselves in a better state of mind. Maybe staying toward that, you've heard me say before, stay in that yellow or green zone as opposed to that red zone as far as stress and frustration go. We want to give ourselves a little bit of a buffer to work through that. So if we're red all the time and then we get more and more frustrated, say, it's just going to make us blow fuses and short out of people and not think clearly, make poor decisions. Whereas if we can be even in that yellow zone, it gives us that buffer into red where we don't hit our boiling point quite so quickly. And again, we can maybe come at things with a more clear perspective, more level-headed, make better decisions, maybe talk better, and make better choices. That will, again, if we're overstressed and making poor choices, that could be detrimental to our goal, whatever your goal is. And I think of it as typically from a fitness and wellness standpoint. But whatever your goal is, if you're making poor choices, that's going to be detrimental to your goal. And there's so many factors, as we've talked about before, that play into us. We're a system. We're not just kind of one thing. There's multiple systems and things going on. So there's not just one factor that guarantees us or success or takes away our success. There's multiple factors in there that are influenced. So for sure, yeah, Andrea says stress can appear during this time for various reasons. For sure, it can be a very stressful time of year. It's always painted in that picture of happiness and joyfulness and togetherness, and the Hallmark movies all paint that great picture. But it can be stressful for various reasons for people, and we don't know. But it's a way, if we can sort of again think about ourselves and think of ways to manage it, and maybe know about ourselves that some of this is going to show up and be there for us, and maybe we can put some plan in place. Okay, I know the holidays are stressful for me. There's just so much to go. I get overwhelmed and trying to figure things out. I usually put off my workouts, but this year, let's say I'm going to try to keep my workouts in, but maybe I'll modify the workouts. So maybe I do an hour workout. Maybe I'm going to switch that to a 20-minute workout or a 30-minute workout. Maybe I'm going to work out 3 times a week instead of 5, but it's better than no times a week that I did last year with all these things that Andrea mentioned. Not enough money, not enough time. You're racing around trying to keep everybody happy with appearances, trying to get time off, life events like death in the family or different things. The list really can go on and on. But those are some big key stressors that we have to deal with. Chris, welcome in. Good to see you. And people, especially any time of the year, but especially this time of year, it really seems to be kind of exacerbated. It's even more so because there's kind of that short amount of time to finish the year off and get some of these holidays in and get through different things. And again, try to see everybody and do as best we can. And it's stressful. It's overwhelming. So, and again, typically when these type of things come up and cause us that stress, we're the first thing to, again, be put to the back burner. When in reality, we should be focusing on ourselves even more to have that better energy, better stress management, better just decision making, better overall feeling that we can give ourselves by staying on our goal, whether again it's fitness or health related or any kind of goal. Really, if we can stay on track and keep progressing towards it, that builds some self confidence in us. That helps us feel a little better about ourselves, and it gives us confidence to keep going and keep that momentum going as well. So yeah, those examples there. Thanks, Andrew, for those. Are great ones that you'll see this time of year, and again, any time of year really, but especially this time of year, it seems that those are really brought to the forefront. So keep those things in mind. Know yourself. Maybe there's certain things there that bother you. Some of us are more sensitive to money issues. Some of us are time issues. Again, some of it's trying to be people pleasers and please everybody. All those things. Know kind of what maybe really bothers you the most or if impacts you the most, and maybe that's where we start making our contingency plan. The thing that really derails you, the thing that really, for me, I know it's financial stress. If there's financial stress, it derails me from any goal I'm trying to work on, and it's hard to focus and be concentrate and to deal with stress and things. So I know for me, if there's some way I can keep finances sort of somewhat in order and at least comfortable, then I have a little bit better energy. But I know if I can try to get my sleep and keep my workouts on routine, try to eat as good as I can, then again, that helps me manage that stress. I don't get that boiling point so quickly as if I had maybe put, again, myself to the back burner and not taking care of myself. So look ahead again, building a contingency plan or plans, having backup plans when things kind of go a little sideways, when life hands you something. So we set our goal. We have our theme words that tie into that goal we talked about last week. Now we want to build a plan B, maybe even a plan C and D, or maybe a plan A-1 and A-2. Again, if you go through and see some of these areas where there's certain times of the year that you're extra stressed or pulled in 6 different directions, or it's hard to focus on certain things, or maybe you're traveling or doing things that are going to make it a little more difficult for you to stay focused on your goal and stay on track. What can you do to minimize that impact? We want to, if anything, ideally, we would just slow down our progress. We want to try to not stop it if we can help it. Slowing down is probably the best case scenario. Generally, we want to just keep going and keep that pace going and working toward that goal. But if it's not going to happen, then if we can just get by with just slowing down even, and not stopping our progress or not getting derailed totally from our goal and our progress towards our goal, then again, we keep that momentum going. We keep ourselves sort of kind of satisfied and giving ourselves that pat on the back because we're still making it. We're still moving forward. It's just at a little slower pace, and that's okay. Maybe that contingency plan includes when this time of year ends, say, like I said, April, I think was my example earlier, April's a busy month. Okay, May 1st, I'm going to ramp stuff up. I'm going to go back to this workout schedule. I'm going to go back to this uh, personal development schedule with these many courses, these many books a week. I'm going to ramp things back up and make use of that time. Your time and your progress doesn't have to be here or just even linear. It's going to have peaks and valleys in it. The important thing is taking advantage, of when you have the time, and then it's not so stressful or detrimental to you when you have to maybe relinquish a little bit or slow down a little bit because there's more commitments that you have to deal with. And then again, that hopefully will avoid or minimize that kind of negative self-talk that comes in of, oh, here I go again. I'm not getting to the gym 3 times a week like I'm supposed to. I'm not getting listening to my podcasts to learn about finances. I'm not reading those books I had set aside. Well, it's okay because the month before we doubled how many books we could read, and now we're going to scale it back a little bit. And next month we're going to pick it up again. And again, if you have these kind of plans in place, and you're a little easier on yourself. When you're easier on yourself, you're more likely to stick with it. You're more likely to stay confident and probably build confidence and more momentum, especially when things clear up for you because you've been through those difficult times. And we want to take those times and learn from them, just like anything else. But again, the more we can kind of prep and prepare, then it's a little less detrimental for us. So again, back at last year, what worked for you. Try to make notes of it, detail it, write it down so you have that somewhere to come back to. What didn't work for you? And again, put that down just for the sake of knowing for sure what didn't work for you in certain situations. But maybe when you look at some situations, maybe you can interchange again the plan, the result, what you did to make sure that maybe the next time, oh, you know what, I think this strategy would work better for this lemon that life handed me. I'm going to try that next time. And again, maybe we'll just slow down on our progress, but not get totally derailed in what it is we're looking to accomplish. What worked, what didn't work, and then again, look ahead to see what's possibly coming up for you in terms of distractions, in terms of life events, in terms of times of year where things are more complicated, more busy, like this list that Andrea mentioned. Again, we're speaking kind of holiday time, but again, any time of the year, a lot of these things could come up for you. Is there certain times of year when it's harder to get time off from work because probably summer, because everyone's trying to take some time away and enjoy weather? Is there a way you can get your leave requested sooner? Is there an alternate option you can do to that? If you can't get the time off that you want, what's your plan B for that? Again, try to look at these options now so that, again, you don't get super stressed and frustrated and discouraged, because again, that takes us off track for our goal and our progress, and that's what we want to try to minimize as much as we can going through that. So again, even if you don't have your goals, if you're just joining us and kind of catching up, or you're just not quite 100% certain on your goal, that's okay. Look through these moments, look through again those successes, those struggles last year, try to put them out to learn from them. And then again, set them aside, put them in your folder or your app on your phone, whatever you're doing to try to work on your goals and your theme words and things like that. And then when the goal is really concrete, and again, a few weeks ago, we talked about SMART goals and that different acronym and how to go through that and look at your goal and really set it a concrete way. Then again, the theme words will come from that and from the understanding of how you want to be and feel when you accomplish that goal. And then you can create just a plan first of how you're going to stay on track. That's the next step in your goal setting. And then the contingency plan, those backup plans. So think of the goal, set the plans of how you work that goal in, and that again works within that SMART framework. And then look at the examples we showed tonight, build those contingency plans for when something is thrown your way, because it will happen at some point or points through the next year, and have those in place, have those in your back pockets so you're ready to go and ready to handle, again, even things you may not even expect. Those plans for other things you do expect can be a really big payoff in those times as well. If nothing else, in the assurance that you have those things taken care of, so you can focus on this new thing that you didn't expect to come up. And the one other thing I want to add in, as you're looking back on last year's successes and struggles, don't beat yourself up about the struggles. Again, it was learning. You were seeing what worked. You tried things. You know now what doesn't work for certain situations, or maybe just doesn't work for you. And that's okay. That's all part of ascending till the end, of getting better. We're learning about ourselves. So as you go through those, again, don't dwell on the negative. Just use it as, a method to learning what didn't work in that situation. But again, it might work for something else that maybe you foresee coming up in this year, or maybe you have a pile of things that didn't work, but if you switched around some of those strategies, maybe it would have worked on a couple of the goals and move them over to this pile. So again, don't be too hard on yourself. Be mindful of that self-talk. Use it as a learning tool and as a way to get even better for 2024. And that brings us to kind of our next step that we're going to get into next week. I kind of teased it last week, and we are able to fine tune or finalize the date. Next week, our pal Blake Miles is going to join us for vision boards. So again, visualization. We touched on that a little bit last week with again, thinking of your theme words and how you want to feel and be when your goal is accomplished, and how that theme words should make you feel that and remind you of that to help you stay on track with your goal. We're going to talk with our pal Blake, who's going to show us how to create a vision board to, again, help us have that kind of visual cue to remind us of where we want to be and where we want to go and what our goal is, so that we can have, again, that instant kind of reminder just here in our eyesight to, again, trigger us, to remind us, to maybe bring us out of that stressful situation that's been thrown at us, and bring us back to our focus of our goal and how we want to accomplish things. Or that visualization and that trigger could even remind us of our contingency plans that we have to deal with the thing that we're trying to get through right now. So next week, December 6th, I want to make sure I got the date right here, is next week. Yes, so December 6th. So again, our pal Blake Miles is going to be here. It's going to be a different, a little different than last year. He's rebranding and changing things. So he's going to have some vision board info for us. And he's going to have a little something for those of you that tune in as a little thank you for tuning in as well. So Blake usually pops in for our vision board sessions because he has that background and experience and does a great job of leading that. So hopefully you can all join us next week. So again, December 6th, Blake's going to join us for vision board. We talked contingency plans tonight. We talked theme words last week. The week before was our goal setting with our SMART goals. And then off that goal setting, remember, we want to work on our plans for that as we move forward. And we've talked about finishing this year off strong as well, getting kind of our ducks in a row so that we can, again, focus a little more on 2024 now, because 2023 hopefully is on a efficient enough system that's kind of taking care of itself. So the next step into that will be our vision board session. Hopefully everyone can pop in and join us. Again, if you're here even on this episode, just on recording, and let us know, give us a shout. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Again, hopefully you can join us. Again, if you don't mind, feel free to share this with someone who maybe someone trying to plan their 2024 now, or maybe they had a rough 23 and just aren't sure where to go for 24. Maybe this framework will help them get things in order and get them going on the right track. Thanks, Bonnie, as well, for being here. Appreciate you. Have a great evening as well. Again, that's it for tonight, guys. Sorry again for the delayed start and just some tech issues to get things going. We should be back in the headquarters next week, back to normal again with our pal Blake joining us as well. So again, share this with those you know. We'll try to post some follow-ups to Instagram as well to kind of catch that up. But yeah, we'll see you here next week. Same time-ish, more at 6 p.m. Wednesday the 6th. Stay safe, everyone. Take care. Thanks so much for being here again, live or recording. I appreciate the support that you guys give me every week. It means a lot, and it helps keep me going and showing up for you guys. I know I love all the feedback that I get from you as well. Have a great week. We'll see you next Wednesday. And remember, always make yourself the priority that you deserve to be by striving to be operationally fit. Take care.